a dominant performance from Tottenham, but given that they did manage to have 2 goals disallowed for offside as well, did they edge it in the end?
Yeah, and hit the post as well, Odegaard, when he came on. Yeah, I think so. They had a lot of good opportunities. I think it was never going to be a classic because Tottenham Hotspurs haven't been in the best of form. It's been difficult. The last away game was Nottingham Forest. You lose 3-0. But I thought today, all in all, I think it was a really hard-working display. I thought Richarlison, although he didn't get the 2 goals that were offside, I thought he led the line well. He gave a bit of a focal point to the team. And obviously Archie Gray scoring that goal. It was a lovely moment. I think we all enjoyed that one, Alan.
Yeah, really lovely goal. But difficult for Crystal Palace. As Jamie said, they've been on a run now of 5 games without a win, having had such a brilliant 2025. Does it feel like this is just a temporary dip? Are they struggling, do you think, with the effects of playing so many games this season?
Well, they look like, you know, the Christmas champagne. They were flat. You know, there was just no bounce to them, no spark. It all looked a bit kind of slow. And that's the sort of mode they're in at the moment. They've only won 2 games at home. So it was not a surprise, the result. They have been struggling a little bit. But I think it was just a game that kind of was perfect for Spurs. They got the first goal. Thomas Frank set his team up. It had his blueprint all over it. And unfortunately for Palace, they just couldn't find that moment.
Let's park. Archie, congratulations. I don't think you've stopped smiling since that goal went in.
No, I mean, when I turned around, I didn't see my teammates celebrating me. I was a bit confused. I was like, have I actually just scored? Or? But no, it's a good feeling, and definitely one that took too long. You know, I don't know how long it's taken, especially the one against Leicester for Leeds. Wasn't my goal, but yeah, it's an amazing feeling. So.
Listen, it's 112 appearances, but none of them matter now because you've got your name on the score sheet. And it's, look, that's for Leeds and for Spurs, obviously. But listen, tell me about that moment when the ball's coming into you and you think you've got that opportunity.
To be honest, I didn't really think about anything. It was just like a matter of I'm so close to the goal. Oh, I can't even describe it. To be honest, after games, even the Leicester one, even though, like I said, it wasn't my goal, I remember the feeling, and it's the best feeling, you know, for. You work your whole life for that moment, and you know, hopefully I can just keep it going. So yeah.
Archie, Alan Pardew, you know, in the dressing room, have you been in there yet? Have the boys patted you on the back, messed you around a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, everyone was just saying they wasn't expecting it to be a header. You know, I mean, I didn't really expect it to be a header as well, but I think that one come off my dad's instincts. So yeah, nice. Thankful for my dad for that.
Archie, because I'm going to give you a bit, because I've said 112 games, but I've watched your career very closely when you was at Leeds. You played right back, a lot of centre-back last year, so I don't think we should be too unkind on that in terms of where you've had to play. But if you were picking your team, and you're the manager, where are you going to play Archie Gray in that Spurs side? Where do you feel is your best position? Because you've played pretty much everywhere for Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yeah, definitely. I'm grateful for wherever I played, but I think my best position's like a number 8. I've played there my whole life, pretty much throughout the whole academy, and I think if you ask my dad, if you ask my family, someone who's watched me, you know, my whole of my life, they'll all say number 8. So I think anywhere in midfield really is, you know, where I'd like to be the most. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you'd like to be playing going forward. But being part of this team and getting the victory today, how important was that after just a little run of not quite getting the results? Yeah,
definitely. It's been quite a few difficult games, you know, starting from Forest. Obviously, we've had a few good performances, a few, you know, not so good ones. But like I said, it's just good to get a good result and, you know, turn things around a little bit, and hopefully we can carry this on. So yeah.
Archie, the manager was saying that beforehand, that while there might not have been back-to-back good results at times, there's never been back-to-back poor performances, that it's all, you know, a poor performance will always be followed by a good performance. How important is it for you guys as a group that you managed to bounce back from difficult results?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, the Nottingham Forest game was a difficult result, both in, you know, the performance and the result as well. I think that was the most important one where we had to bounce back because, yeah, it was a difficult game, and you know, every day on the training pitch with the manager we're learning new things and, you know, trying to get better in the unit, in the way we press and the way we build up. It's learning new things every day, and we're just getting better as it goes. So yeah.
And Archie, it's a strict regime as a Premier League footballer, so you don't really get a proper Christmas and New Year, but you've got plenty to celebrate tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Archie.
Well done, Archie.
Really lovely to hear from Archie Gray there,
yeah.
and lovely that he gets that goal. I mean, you both know what it's like to have to have that feeling, and he was giggling when you were saying to him that feeling as he just kind of ran away celebrating.
Absolutely,
Jamie.
and he comes from, you know, great football pedigree. His granddad, uncle, you know, amazing footballers, and obviously his dad was a really good player as well. So for that young man, the feeling and the expectation, he said he's spoken to his dad about it. The first thing he's going to want to do is talk to his family, and that feeling of scoring. And once you've scored, Alan, I'm sure you'll agree that all you're thinking about is now, please let us win. Please let us be the winning goal. Please let me be involved in a winning team, especially when you get your first goal. So delighted for him. And it hasn't been easy. Obviously, since he came to Leeds last year, there was a lot of injuries in defensive positions, so he had to find himself in lots of positions. Probably made him a better player long term, because he's learned how to probably defend. He's fought for there's been times he's had to play as a right back, times as centre back. But like he said, that he wants to be a number 8. He wants to be an all-round midfield player. And I think he's certainly showing that. So really pleased for him, and hopefully now he can get a good run of games. And once you get a taste for that, once you score your first goal, you think, OK, I might, you know, get another one now. You start to get in the box a bit more, and that's what he certainly needs to add to his game, and he's got the capability to do so.
Yeah, it's an interesting problem for the manager to try and find a solution to, where you've got a player who's played really all the way through in one position, but you need him to do something else, especially when they're young and still developing.
Well, I think, you know, the Spurs fans have grown to love him because he's just come in and done a job wherever he's been put. And an honest job, which he did today. I mean, he got the goal, but he was always in position. His positional sense is excellent. And that number 8, I think, is probably him. When you look at his body shape and the power and size of him, he doesn't look like a centre-back or a holding midfielder player. He looks like somebody, you know, you need to release. And I thought he had a good game today. I thought Spurs played a very kind of strategic game. They stopped Crystal Palace at source, really. He was part of that. And Richarlison up front, I think Jamie's right. I thought he was excellent in both boxes. Did the job, and he gets a lot of criticism at Spurs. So I think there was some real positives for Thomas Frank today in that performance, not least the win, and of course a 19-year-old getting the winning goal is brilliant as well for everybody.
Yeah, really good news story for Tottenham Hotspur. But for Crystal Palace, the disappointment of another defeat, another game without a victory. Let's hear from Will Hughes. He's with Emma Saunders.
Well, Will, you've huffed and puffed out there, haven't you? Where do you think ultimately you've fallen short again today?
I'd probably say being ruthless in front of goals. You know, we had our chances throughout the game, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. I think the manner of the defeat, we can be proud of the performance as a whole. You know, compared to last week against Leeds, where I think the manager said we deserved to lose, and that was one of the first games in a long time. The manager's really honest with us in terms of performance, but ultimately performance doesn't get you 3 points, and that's why we're frustrated today.
That lack of ruthlessness you talk about in front of goal, 12 shots carved out today. What's at the bottom of that, do you think? Is it a lazy narrative to lean on fatigue and the sheer amount of games that you've had this season? Is it quality of finishing? How do you see it?
Yeah, definitely. Lazy to say that, because it's nothing to do with energy or fatigue. It's just we're going through one of those stages now. All teams will go through it where they're creating chances but just don't put the ball in the back of the net, and unfortunately we're going through that at the moment. You know, we're creating the chances, that's the most important thing, and the next stage is putting the ball in the back of the net, and the results will change. We've seen that previously.
So I was kicking you whilst you were down, another set-piece goal conceded as well today. As a group of players, are you disappointed in yourself at the nature of that goal?
Yeah, especially after last week conceding 4. I think we've been pretty strong on them previously for the majority of this season. So it's very frustrating. So we've got a strong team, an aggressive team. It's minor details. There's been a lot of goals in the Premier League this season from set plays. So we'll have a look at it again and try and figure out.
It's a shame because it is a disappointing end to what has been a truly historic year for this football club. Your 150th appearance today, you've seen a lot in a Crystal Palace shirt. How much do you think you need to lean on the positives of this year as you now turn into 2026 and hopefully turn a corner?
Yeah, it's hard to see that now, being emotional after the game, but I think we'll take a step back and look at it over the next few days going into the new year and look back on the year as a whole and see it as very successful for Palace, unprecedented in terms of what we've done, the trophies we've won. So yeah, right now it's hard to see it like that after the result, but I'm sure this week we'll see it.
Thanks for your time today.
Cheers, Emma.
Thanks.